Hello everyone and welcome to part 4 of the Deviantart exhibition. This is Alrav from Quebec, Canada, and before I was the author and creator of Algatraz le Protecteur / Algatraz le Protecteur, I took part in a daily drawings challenge on Deviantart back in 2015. So I've already shown a bunch of drawings from back then in the previous part. So now let's continue and complete the marathon, slowly but surely. So I ended up with this drawing of Doctor Strange with close-up of Dormammu and Shumagorat, all of which are from Marvel Comics. Now the opposite end, I've got some ink doodling sketch of sort with a bit of a joke of sort. So again, it was some practice material from back then. A bit of a homage piece, parody of sort of Rob Liefeld drawing style, done with ink in this particular case, from the independent scene. Well, this is supposed to be Image Comics. So. Now here I've got a drawing of Superman holding the American flag from DC Comics. This time it was done with ink. And again another one, but this time I partially made one in ink with Batman from DC Comics. More doodling. And a few more drawings. So here I've got Hawkman from DC Comics. I believe this is supposed to be a John Stewart, Green Lantern from DC Comics, and Iron Man from Marvel. Now here I've got 4 different characters in one. So I've got Kenta Eagle from Gatchaman, Daredevil from Marvel Comics, Captain America also from Marvel Comics, and Aquaman from DC Comics. A bit more doodling of practice material of sort. I think this is supposed to be loosely based on Super Smash Bros. Most of it. More doodling here. And I've got a villager here from Animal Crossing from Nintendo. So again, this is more like a practice material that I had done back then than actual drawings. The same here on this particular page. And again, more still life drawing of sort. Well, very loosely, it was part of my practice drawing regimen from back then. So yeah, I believe these are close-ups. Again, more of me playing with geometry, sphere, cube and cylinders. So the practice material that you're all taught in the Marvel way style of drawing. So I did a share of these. So I've got a bunch of these particular style material. As of this particular video and way before that, I'm no longer on Deviantart, and I've left the platform a really long time ago, so because of that my drawings are no longer available there. It's the first time in many years that I get to show these particular drawings and sketches and stuff. Now if you were to ever take part in this particular challenge of sort, I think the short answer is that I no longer do any sort of fan art myself, but I'm still curious as to what anyone thinks about my old drawings from back then, and if you like some of them. As always, feedback and commentary, they're always welcome, as they are necessary for the road to improvement in my book. Even to us artists, we can't really rest out that much. So now here I've got another sketch practice of sort for Doctor Doom. Yeah, I think I may have attempted to do an Avengers fanfiction back then way before 2015, but I never actually did that. But nowadays I'm almost exclusively focused on making my own creation and stuff. So now here I've got a bunch of close-up tests for Peter Parker and G. Jonah Jameson from Marvel Comics. A little bit of some extra characters too, all of which from Marvel. More doodling practice material. More stuff here. So again, some of it are hard to look at because they were made a long time ago and they were drawn in a rough HB pencil mine carrier and stuff, so they're a bit hard to look at on a camera, but it is the closest thing that I'll do to be able to archive and preserve all the material and stuff. If you are to ever partake in a Deviantart challenge of sort, I think the short answer is that doing one drawing per day, it may not seem that much, but depending on, sometime when we're younger we tend to put a lot of emphasis on perfectionist, and sometimes we end up beating more than we can chew because of that. So that's probably the reason why I would not recommend that you take the challenge yourself. Besides, the internet is a different place now and the site has evolved, maybe in some way better than others. So I think nowadays if you want to draw stuff, I think it's better to create your own characters and IPs and stuff than to try to borrow those that were made by other people. But fan art can be fun in their own way, as in being a form of expression, and that's okay too for practice and stuff. Like if you are good at drawing an established character like a Batman or a Spider-Man, you can then create your own characters easily from that point. So that's why fan art exists. So I do think it's still worth it to look into a challenge like this, but you don't need to follow it rigidly either. So in my case, I ended up doing 100 drawing of sort before I dropped out. And honestly, I look back, I think I put a lot of effort into these, a little bit too much at the time, given I had other things as well. But that's part of art practice that you need to make to get good as an artist. Like, you can't really, you have to keep going at it, even if you make mistakes along the way. There's all of which are stepping stone on their way, which is exactly why I look back at it and like, I've learned a lot from doing this particular style of drawings, and I've also experimented and messed around a little bit with the various subjects I've drawn. So I'm firmly a comic guy first and foremost, but I do have this baggage of video games in me because of my time spent with these back in the old days during high school. So that's why there is some video game influence as well, and it's still part of my own personal baggage. And that's it for the Deviantart exhibition, folks, because everything after that consists of a bunch of more sketches, practice material and stuff, so it's not based on anything really, except for some partial showing of incomplete sketches and doodlings of Marvel characters and stuff. But it's mostly just me experimenting with the Marvel way style of drawing from back then. And that's it for the exhibition, folks. So let me know what you think in the commentary section below, and we'll see one another very soon. Enjoy the reading.